Are you wrestling with credit card debt while living paycheck to paycheck? You're not alone. Welcome to The Fives, where we make finance fun. Today we're giving you 5 practical ways to start destroying credit card debt even on a low income. For reference, low income is defined as earnings significantly lower than the average American annual salary, pegged at around $63,000. Let's get into the list. Imagine you're tackling a Rubik's Cube, but it's your debt you're spinning and not colored blocks. The first move to banish debt on a low income is to know your enemy. First, gather all financial paperwork. Bank statements, credit card bills, loan details, even that small debt to your buddy. Next, write down every detail. Like a music video storyboard, you need to see all the details of exactly who and what you owe. It might seem scarier than Freddy Krueger, but big debt is one demon you can fight while you're awake. After that, note the interest rates. You need to know what you're up against, and you especially should know how fast your debt can multiply, kinda like when you feed gremlins after midnight. Then, assess your income and expenses. Figure out what money's coming in and where it's going. You should know that number better than you knew your POG collection. Also, can you trim anything? Every saved dollar is a dollar towards beating your debt, so get aggressive about it. Lastly, just be honest with yourself about how serious your situation is. Be thorough, stare it in the face. Don't shy away or back down. Every great journey starts with a single step, or in our case, a single coin. Credit card debt is often a byproduct of unforeseen circumstances because life can be unpredictable. That can sometimes make the next step a little tricky to pull off. Let's jump back to a familiar favorite for a second. Remember when Marty got stuck in the Old West and couldn't figure a way to get the DeLorean up to 88 miles per hour so he could time travel home? Your financial situation can feel like being stuck in a past era, needing an inventive strategy to escape. One of the most effective tactics to pay off your debt is to simply stop accruing more. That's easier said than done sometimes. It doesn't help that modern-day consumerism and easy access to credit have led to a culture of impulsive buying, making the issue worse. This step isn't always easy. Even we can admit that. Remember when Indiana Jones was trying to escape the temple in Raiders of the Lost Ark? If you were him, would you keep setting off traps? No, you'd be super careful not to do that, right? So, how do you dodge the traps or avoid new debt? The key is discipline. It's not about monk-like austerity, but about smart choices. Learn to differentiate between wants and needs. Do you need those chic new shoes or do you just want them? Every dollar saved is a dollar towards repaying your debt. You might need to tweak your lifestyle to find hidden savings, and before you start groaning about having to give up that thing, whatever it is, yes. This will be an uncomfortable change, but it'll be necessary if you want to get out of this with your sanity intact. You can cut down on lavish meals, cancel unnecessary subscriptions, and opt for budget alternatives. This isn't permanent. It's just until you've escaped your debt. Beware of acquiring new credit card debt as well. If you can't pay for it in cash, then it's a no-go. Picture your card as a Ghostbusters containment unit, but instead of ghosts, it's your cash that's trapped. Loans can also be a double-edged sword. They might appear like a viable solution, but in the end you're just transferring your debt from one creditor to another. As they say, if you dug yourself into a hole, just stop digging. We're about to create a plan to overcome debt, and it all starts with a budget. A comprehensive budget will guide you towards financial stability. It's not about imposing severe and unrealistic restrictions, rather, enabling you to manage your money better by seeing where it goes. Understanding your income and expenses is the first step. Picture it like sifting through your record collection, listing all your income and expenses. Consider everything from your work pay, to side jobs, and from housing costs to your daily coffee spend. The more detailed your list, the closer you are to financial freedom. Having established your income and expenses, prioritize your spending. Essentials like housing, food, and healthcare are fundamental and should never be compromised. With those covered, focus on clearing any credit card debt. Have surplus funds? Save those for a rainy day. If you're worried about a low income, consider ways to earn extra cash. Check the description for a link to a video with a few ideas to get you started. Also consider a part-time job, selling unused items, or even renting out a room. The more extra income you can pull in, the better. Having a plan is just the first step. You have to stick to it diligently. Monitor your spending like you would your cherished VHS collection. If things get overwhelming, remember there are online tools like budgeting apps and financial advisory services to help you. Paying off debt doesn't need to be an extreme exercise in deprivation and suffering. It's about constructing a financial plan and sticking to it. If you build your budget properly, Then eventually, some financial relief will come. The next strategy in paying off your debt, even on a low income, is to start with the smallest debts first. You may wonder, why start at the bottom? Well, it's all psychology. Can you imagine what it would be like trying to pay off a mountain of debt starting with the largest ones first? It would overwhelm and discourage you. Think of that feeling you get when you first start a 1,000-piece puzzle and dump them all out on the tabletop. It's a mass of shapes, all jumbled up and all facing different directions. It's a lot at first, but if you work methodically to separate them by color and set aside the edge pieces, eventually you begin to see progress. This goes for your debts too. Focusing on smaller debts first provides a sense of achievement. Clearing a debt, no matter how small, gives you a mental boost. You experience a dopamine hit. This is the snowball effect, and it's a great tool for motivation. When you reduce the size of your bills, your situation starts to seem more manageable. Plus, each paid-off debt is progress towards independence. Each time you clear a debt, you free up income, which can go towards your next debt. You repeat this process from card to card. It's slow and the effect is barely noticeable at first, like the snowballs you'd see in those old Looney Tunes shorts. But remember what happened once the snowballs got going? You're achieving the same effect here, but with reducing your debt. Of course, don't ignore big debts. Continue making minimum payments on those to avoid penalties. This may not be the fastest or most cost-effective way, but if it keeps you moving, then it's a winning strategy. Always remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. In the same way it takes months or even years to shed unwanted pounds, it will take time to get out of debt. If you're watching this video, it's safe to assume that your income's more Bill and Ted than Bill Gates. So here's another winning approach to wiping out your debt: debt relief programs. Let's talk a little about debt consolidation and debt settlement. If you want to hear about other kinds of debt relief, let us know down below so we can make a video about it. Debt consolidation lets you roll all your debts into one easy payment. But hold on, it's not for everyone. It's a loan you take out to pay off your debt, which you then pay back to the lender. However, you'd need a credit score as killer as Ferris Bueller's charm if you plan to get a consolidation loan with a low rate. If not, you might end up paying more in the end. So, research before making any moves. Debt settlement programs are a bit different. These companies negotiate with your creditors to reduce the amount of your debt so that you can pay it off faster, using your own money. This is usually for a fee, which is how they stay in business. Many think they're a scam, arguing that a person could conceivably negotiate their own debt. Strictly speaking, this is true. However, some people prefer not to deal with creditors at all, even over the phone. So having a trained negotiator take up that slack is a viable option for them. If you missed it, check out this video about the top 5 things Americans just love to charge on their credit cards. And let us know which debt dwindling strategy was your favorite. This has been The Fives. We'll catch you in the next video.